know I said there was no need to play any other VR first person shooters aside from Doom, of course, thanks to Aim XR, an amazing game that is still in freaking alpha and is so damn cool. However, what had happened was I played this shit so tough, like every night for like 3 months, probably more, that I eventually wore it out. Sadly, these things happen. So I had to go back on my word. It's a shame I rarely do that. And I don't like to do that. But there's a bright side because I discovered contractors. Now I've seen some jabronis in the VR gaming community calling contractors the Call of Duty of virtual reality gaming. I think that distinction is more fit to a game like Zero Caliber, maybe even Onward. Now, I haven't played either of these games. I haven't really even fucked with Call of Duty for any great length of time. This is all based on my research and me just pulling some shit out of a fucking hat, so I may be wrong. However, I guess you could say that Contractors does have strong COD vibes based solely on the strength of its immersive firefight qualities. And that is where this game truly stands out. Now we have a lot to cover here in this review. Let's start with the game modes. Contractors gives you a few game modes to choose from, but for the most part, you've basically got multiplayer where you're online fucking with jabronis worldwide, and the single player, which is what I gravitate to because I'm not necessarily a team player. I was encouraged to see there were three types of single player modes to choose from, but once I dug in, I can't say that I was overly impressed by the options. Unfortunately, there's no campaign slash storyline mode available. And while they are interesting ideas, thus far I'm not necessarily feeling the steal the flag shit and the mission modes. Maybe these will be a little bit more fun to play once I master the game and I just feel like I'm a true ace and shit, like I think I am in Aim XR. But right now, they're a little too hard. And plus the fucking sprinting issue, which I will get to later. That said, I do love the free roam, which is what I fucking love about Aim XR. So that's where I spend all of my time in Contractors. The free roam is, of course, obviously, very similar to what you get in Aim XR, and I imagine similar first person shooter games. Here you can do teams of 5 on 5, but the big difference is the environment. The Contractors maps are fucking huge. I've been playing this game for maybe a few, 3 weeks maybe I would say. And I've played each map quite a few times and I still don't think I've fully explored a single one. That's how huge they are. There's so many places to go and take the battle to. It's pretty fucking amazing. Of course, the main draw of Contractors is the action, which in turn is fueled by the artillery. Contractors gives you an impressive selection of guns to choose from, with your options ranging from rifles to snipers and a little bit of everything in between. Each category is loaded with heat. You've also got sidearms as well as grenades and knives. I mean, you can cut a nigga with a machete in this bitch, and that feels alarmingly satisfying. Maybe I have issues. I don't know. Anyway, the guns feel great, and they're pretty easy to use for the most part, though some of them will take some getting used to, and you need to hit the range with these motherfuckers before you really establish any sort of mastery, as I'm finding out with the sniper rifles, which I just pulled out for the first time yesterday. And they pretty cool, man, but aiming on motherfuckers, man, that shit is a challenge. Like, I be right up on the motherfucker still missing his ass. So I need to take my ass to the fucking range with the sniper rifles and get a better understanding of how they work. Another aspect that I've seen other jabronis complaining about is the fact that the opponents can take quite a bit of damage before you put them down. For me, this isn't a problem. It's something I attribute to the super armor that they're surely wearing, which is available to you also. And this is pretty good if you getting your ass shot, because I take quite a bit of damage too. Like, I be getting lit the fuck up, but I still be going and shit. That said, headshots will still drop a motherfucker rather quickly. So if you got your aim on point, all the fucking resilience in the world won't stop you from laying a motherfucker where they stand. So far, my least favorite thing about Contractors is the auto sprint or lack thereof. Unfortunately, this feature is incredibly buggy. I always have it enabled, but it's sometimey as fuck. And unfortunately, that means that it doesn't work most of the time. I turned it on pretty much immediately once I realized how shit was moving, and it didn't do anything at all. I'm still just moseying around. Then about 5 days later, out of the blue, I just find myself randomly zipping through maps like I just hit some crack and coffee with a side of fucking Ritalin and shit. It was pretty intense. I was just moving all over that motherfucker like, damn, where this come from? Then the next day, my next session is back to this slow poking shit. Until it randomly turned itself on again in another 5 days. So far, I've only been able to sprint twice, and I've played this game damn near every day. Pretty weird, pretty frustrating, but it's not a make or break thing. I just wish I could understand why the fuck this is happening. It seems like a simple thing, something that should have been ironed out by now, but knowing me, it's just my dumb ass doing something or not doing something right. We'll fucking find out. Maybe we won't. Who fucking knows? So anyway, these maps are huge, so without having the ability to sprint, you are dragging ass, moving like Master Roshi and shit. While your teammates, they are all over the place. These niggas ain't walking, they running, they flying. So it's hard to catch up with their ass. I mean, I managed to get around, you know what I'm saying? But still, it kind of sucks and shit. And if you're like a dumbass like me, don't know where the fuck you going, you can easily find yourself getting cornered alone by your opponents or just walking for a couple minutes until you run into some action. That's how slow this motherfucker moves sometimes, man. Like, what the fuck? Overall, Contractors is a very cool and intense first-person shooter for VR. While I do prefer the mechanics of Aim XR, which I feel are teetering on perfection with the way you move, the way you grab your guns, the way you reload, etc., etc., the gun selection and the massive environments here in Contractor makes for some very compelling gameplay. So far, there are a total of 12 maps, and that's cool. It's a great start. It's more than what you get with AIM, so I can't really complain. Yes, that rhyme. I do that sometimes. And the holiday fucking map is really cool, man. It's like very creative. It's very impressive. I like that shit a lot. However, I hope we do get some more maps in the future update, because motherfuckers like more, and we like having more without having to pay for it. So since I broke down and switched up, I'll probably be checking out Onward and eventually Zero Caliber. But for now, it's all about that Contractors wagon. So if you haven't, get up on it. Peace.